What's up, you guys? Hey, all right, story time. So, thank you guys for tuning in here. I'm going to do a little live broadcast. The last live broadcast I did, I was in New York City, and now I'm out back in the woods, back in the country, and I just came out to this field here, and I wanted to tell you guys what I would do if I were going to start over trading tomorrow. If tomorrow was day one, because I get so many beginner traders who come to me and they say, Ross, how long did it take you to learn to trade? What was your turning point? What would you do differently? If you were in my shoes, how would you get started? What would you do? What strategy would you focus on? What broker would you use? How would you approach this? And, the fact is, I can give you the blueprint, and I've done it before. I'll give you the roadmap. I'll tell you exactly how I would do it. I tell you, and not just like if I were going to start over with $500 in my account. If I start over with $500 in my account, I'm still starting over. While it's with zero money, I'm starting over with all of the experience that I have today. So that's not really starting over. I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I were a beginner today. And I've thought about this quite a bit, and I've put together 7 core steps, 7 kind of fundamental steps that I would take. And I can guarantee you, if I started over tomorrow, if I went back 10 years to being a very, very beginner, I start over tomorrow, I guarantee you, if I followed those steps, I would learn faster than the way that I learned. Because the way that I learned, I'll tell you about it, another time. But the way that I learned was a long, stretched out learning curve. It took years. And, the fact is I turned the corner. And the reason I turned the corner, probably 2 key attributes in my personality. Number 1, I was extremely disciplined. I did not give up. I said, I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep focusing. And number 2, I was patient. I knew that I had to bide my time. I knew that I had to sit in the trenches for a while, but that I could get out. I knew that I could turn the corner. And so the combination of patience and discipline are probably the 2 reasons that I made it through a learning curve that was probably twice as long as it should have been, maybe 3 times as long as it should have been. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to do a TED Talk. So it's going to be the first new event that I've hosted in a while. It's going to be really focused on the 7 steps that I would take if I were going to start over. And I'm going to host it this week. Now, I'm going to record the event. So I'm going to do this the first time live. Teaching this event will be on Tuesday. And what I'm going to share with you during that event, I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to put it right on the table. I'm going to give you the roadmap. The fact is, probably 95% of you won't do anything with it. But a couple of you might. A couple of you might take that roadmap, you might take that blueprint and apply it to your trading. And for those of you that do, it could be the turning point, big time. So again, it's only if you're going to have the patience, because this is the thing, and I'm serious here. Most beginner traders have no patience. They come in, they want to get rich quick, they want to make a ton of money, and they don't like when I tell them that you have to spend a lot of time studying. So what I want you guys to do, I'm going to host this I'm not going to host it live on YouTube. I'm going to host it on a different platform for a simulcast. I'm going to stream out to a number of platforms all at the same time, and I'm going to record it, and it's going to be this week. So I put a link in the description. I'm going to give you guys an email invite if you want to attend. And not everyone's going to want to attend. It's probably going to be a 2-hour long event at the minimum. And if it's a small group of people that show up, then it'll leave a lot of time for Q&A. And I think that you guys will get a lot of value out of that, because I'll take your questions and you throw them at me and I'll give you my answer. I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I were in your shoes, if I was a beginner trader, how I would approach it. So I put the link already in the description for this just before I went live. I don't know on my mobile if I can even, I don't know that I can even type on this. I've never actually tried to respond to a comment on mobile. So I don't think I can, but that's fine. It's mine, like I said, is my comment, or the link is right in the description. So to give you a little preview, what I'm going to do, and by the way, though, people that are watching this, if you're watching this a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or a month from now, and you want this roadmap, you want me to show you what I would do if I were starting over today or tomorrow, whatever it is, you could still register down below. You can go on our newsletter, and we'll tag you if you registered from this video. We'll send you a link so you can watch the TED Talk. I'm going to have at least one guest for the talk, and I'll keep that as a surprise who my guest is going to be, but I know you guys who already know me probably have an idea of who it'll be. But in any case, it's going to be good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by walking you through what my learning curve was. I'm going to share with you how I learned how to trade, and I'm going to debunk a couple of myths that a lot of traders have in the right way to approach trading. So that's going to be the beginning of the talk. And then I'm going to go through and show you step by step the way I would approach it. From finding stocks to trade each day, which is important, but then also what setups I would focus on, where I would get in, where I would get out. I'm going to go through the whole thing. So I'm going to put it on the table for you. So anyone that's out there that you want to pick it up, apply it in your trading. And, like I said, this is the thing where we're in this culture where so many people coming into trading, they just want to get rich quick. They don't want to spend the time. They don't want to take they don't want to take the time to really study. And that's why so many people just want to follow trade alerts. They want to do, whatever, just mirror trade people. And I don't give you that option. I don't send out text or email alerts so people can mirror trade me. I don't do that. I really think that the best way is for you to learn a strategy. And it's up to you to find one that works for you. And if during the talk, I talk some of you guys out of wanting to be a trader, I'm okay with that. I'd rather have you find out right now than 6 months into it when you realize that this isn't for you. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to find success overnight, because you won't. That's not how it works. But I'll share with you the way I did it. And if you think that that's something that you can do, if you right now can't imagine another day of working under somebody and having a boss, then trading is something that you should think about. Now, it's not to say that there aren't other things you could do. You could certainly think about starting your own business. But one of the things about trading is that the overhead to get started is extremely low. And so, like, when I got started, even though I loved the idea of owning my own business, I didn't have a means to get there. I didn't have the startup capital. I didn't have the knowledge of how to get there. It just wasn't possible. So, and it's, again, there's a million different kinds of businesses you could start. But when I was getting into trading, this was years ago, the type of businesses that I was thinking about were, like brick and mortar businesses. And that's not something that I would have been able to have the money to start. So trading for me was a good way to, at least in my mind, I thought that would be a good way to generate some income, get some money in the door, and then I could reinvest that. So, one of the things that I did that's probably different from a lot of people, when I first started making money trading, what a lot of guys, and maybe girls too, I don't know, but definitely what I've seen a lot of guys do is they make a little money trading, and next thing you know, they've got a Lamborghini in their driveway, they've got a McLaren, they've got a Ferrari, they've got the $5,000-$6,000 a month lease, and all of a sudden they're living large. And that's not what I did. When I started making some money from trading, I put that money aside, I reinvested it. And I did that because I knew that trading is going to have ups and downs. There's going to be good years, there's going to be bad years. I need to put money away because that's a smart thing to do. And that's something that I teach anyone that comes to me and asks me about trading. I always say, what you have to do is you have to put some aside for a rainy day, and you want to reinvest it. Look for those dividend paying stocks, put that money away, reinvest it. And to be honest, I've done the same thing with Warrior. With Warrior, reinvesting. And that's why Warrior, now we have our own software. It's like we've just done it so differently from how so many other people out there have kind of run these educational businesses. Some people just take all the money out and they put it into getting renting a private jet and renting a yacht and doing the photo shoots and doing all the, the lifestyle marketing. And I'm sure I'll get into that. I'll talk about that during the workshop, because it's for me, it's a pet peeve. It's something that I really don't like. And I think one of the reasons I don't like it is because, I see these guys who are doing that, and it appears to me that it's working for them because they've got a ton more followers than I have. They've got a lot more engagement on those types of posts, and I'm sitting here thinking, man, I mean, I can smell, I can smell the bullshit, and I see that they're just selling this lifestyle, and I'm sick of it, and I wish people would stop doing it, but they're not going to stop doing it until people stop buying into it. People are still buying into it because they want to get rich quick, because they want to be the next, Kardashian, and I'm sick of it. I don't like it at all. But that just is what it is. And you guys who are watching this today, you're probably there's a good chance that you've seen all those other guys first. Those may even be some of the people that first got you into this market. And then you realize that maybe that strategy doesn't work for you, or you're sick of it. You're sick of all the kind of BS around that. And maybe you're looking for someone that's actually going to tell you the truth, not just tell you what you want to hear. Because I think a lot of those guys just tell you what you want to hear. And that's probably why they've gotten, more popular than me. And that's probably why they'll stay more popular than me. And I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the real deal. I'm going to tell you for real that trading is hard. It's not easy. And I'm going to tell you that most people do lose money. And I'm going to tell you that my results are not typical. Well, I'll also tell you that there's a couple of you out there that will take the roadmap and you're actually going to apply it. There's a couple of you that are going to have the discipline and they're going to have the patience to play the long game on this. Because that's what I was willing to do. I was willing to sacrifice. What did I do to stretch my learning curve? I was living as cheap as you could imagine. I was driving an old car. I was living in a house and cutting down trees in my woods so I could heat for the wood stove for the winter, because I didn't want to buy home heating oil. I was painting the house myself. I was doing all the repairs myself. Anything that needed work, I was doing it myself. I didn't have any subscriptions. I didn't have satellite TV. I didn't have any of that stuff. I was downgrading Netflix. I was downgrading everything to save money. I made the deductible on my homeowner's insurance like $20,000, so my insurance bill would be super low. Those were things that I did, and those were the sacrifices that I made because I wanted that, because I knew that would buy me a couple more months of learning how to trade. And that's what I thought I needed. 1 more month, 2 more months, 3 more months. So if you're not willing to take those sacrifices, and not everyone is. Not everyone's going to be willing to take those sacrifices. And hopefully, if you follow a smarter path, hopefully you don't have to take that level of sacrifice. But at the same time, is it worth it? Is it worth it to dig deep and spend, 3 years grinding really, really hard? So if you get through it, then everything from that point forward is good. And that's what I did. So, I didn't buy a fancy car when I first started making money trading. I waited until I knew I had gotten it. I waited until I knew I was for sure over the learning curve. I had over $1 million and was still living in a house that was well below my means. But that's what it was about, living below my means so I could save money. That's the thing. If your cost of living is $25,000 a month and you're going to tell me, Ross, I need to make $25,000 a month as a beginner trader, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. A beginner trader making $300,000 a year? No. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Now, if you say, Ross, I'd like to make $5,000 a month trading, I'd say, okay, you're starting from the right spot. So rather than focus on, the 0.11% or whatever it is that might make $1 million trading, maybe. I'd rather talk about what's more practical. Let's talk about getting practical. Let's talk about what it looks like to make an extra $20,000 in the year, trading in the market. 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. That's when we're talking about $100, $200 a day, right? So, $100 a day, that's 25,000 a year. $200 a trading day, that's about 50,000 a year. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on having the discipline to wait for those good quality setups to come to you. Maybe you only trade 3 times a week, but maybe each one of those trades is $300 or something like that. Then you're averaging $1,000 a week. That's 50,000 a year. There's a lot of different ways to approach this, but the way most people approach it is they come in, they burn hot, they go fast, and they blow out their accounts, and they're gone. And that's it. It's over. And so when people come in and they say, Ross, I need to make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month as a beginner trader to justify this, I'm going to tell you that's not realistic. What I would tell that person is keep focusing on your day job and commit to spending 2 hours a day trading. Spend 2 hours a day trading. And would you be willing to do that for the next 2 years while keeping your day job? Because that's how it turns into a side hustle. You start focusing more and more on the trading, and then once you start making money on it, then you let go of the day job. That's the right way to do it. The wrong way is to quit the day job, go all in trading with no experience, no real indication that you're actually going to be successful. And you know what ends up happening? A lot of pressure, you blow up your account. And you've told all these people how big you're going to be. You've told all these people, I'm quitting my job because I'm going to start day trading. And now the pressure's on. Now when people ask you how you're doing, all of a sudden there's pressure. Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Well, you're not doing good, but now you're embarrassed to admit it because you talked yourself up. I didn't want to tell people about my trading. I never wanted to tell people I was making money trading. I didn't want to tell people I was a day trader because I didn't want to have any expectation to live up to. So most people just thought I wasn't really, I was doing a little bit of side hustle work, but just kind of scraping by. I set the expectations low. I set it low with other people, and I even set them low with myself. So even if I made just a little bit of money, I was like, okay, you're turning the corner. You're getting it. So like I said, I'll put the roadmap in front of you. I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'll tell you exactly how I did it and what I would do differently if I was starting over today. And most of you won't do anything with it, but some of you will. And so I'm going to do it for the people out there that are going to actually make this happen. All right. So that's why I wanted to come on here and tell you. It's going to be this week. I'm going to put the link right in the description. Again, like I said, if you're watching this 6 months down the road, you could still watch the stream of the TED Talk. I'll keep it available. So you can rewatch it, watch it a couple times. You can watch it if this is a year later. You can watch it. And maybe I've done 5 other TED Talks or presentations or events since this one, but you can watch all of them. And each one that you watch, you're going to learn a little bit more about, really, it's the mindset. It's getting up here, getting into the right mindset. You've got to approach it from the right mindset. And I think that right there is one of the big things, because so many people that come into this thinking they're going to get rich quick, following these lifestyle marketing people, they're already coming in with the wrong mindset and the wrong expectations. So they are setting themselves up to fail. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you it's hard. I'm going to tell you this is a really crazy, difficult thing to learn. But if you want to learn it, I'll teach you. I'm happy to teach you if you want to learn. And I'll put the blueprint right out there for you. And if you want to learn from someone else, you want to learn someone else's strategy, that's fine too. You could do as you like, but I'll tell you the blueprint of how I would do it. So that's where I'm at. And that's what's going on this week. And again, like I said, people watching this down the road, as long as this video's up, you can watch the TED Talk. I'm going to have a guest speaker with me at the beginning. And then we're going to get into the event. I'll tell you how I learned. I'll tell you what I would do differently today. I'll give you in 7 steps what I would do differently if I was starting over today. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to throw some shots. I'm going to tell you the truth about, why penny stocks don't work for most traders. And I'm going to tell you the truth about why most educators out there are so different from me. And, you guys will appreciate it. It's important for you to know it. So, I'm going to put it out there. All right, so that's coming up this week. I hope you guys enjoy it. And as usual, I'll be back tomorrow morning for the morning show. So right around 9 a.m. I'll go live on YouTube, except instead of being out in the field, I'll be behind my desk, and we'll see what's on the scanners. All right, so tune in tomorrow, and those that, if you're not already a subscriber on the channel, you can hit the subscribe button. You'll get the notification when I go live tomorrow morning for the morning show. So thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Looks like we've got a number of people here that joined for this live stream. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And make sure you register for the email. I'm going to send a private invitation for the live event. So it's going to be a smaller group for the live event. I want to make sure that the group of people are people that are actually wanting to learn this, that are for real. So you take that step of registering, show me you want to make this happen, and I'll do the event for you. All right, so that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning.